Hello, all, and welcome to what is it, Tuesday night, Nigel? Tomorrow is recycling day here in the township, and it's also trash day. So I've got that to look forward to. Tonight, after I give a chance for some people to stroll into the room, I'll be launching the trailer for part two. And tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, in 25 hours from now, we'll do the red carpet followed by the launch of the film. There's a couple things I'll tell you about the film, too. One big thing that's going to surprise you. That's, do you know what I meant by that? All right. Hi, Mark. So it's been a busy, like, 2 weeks. This got pushed back, like, slightly over 2 weeks because of death. All right. Yes, we had two deaths in the family. I was a pallbearer twice, 2 days, twice in a week. First time that's ever happened. And can I tell you something? Coffins are heavy, even if the person's not. Hi, Phil. Um, they're like made of, I don't know what they're made of. No, they're metal. I don't know if they're aluminum or what, but I'd be interesting without a body in there to try to lift one for how much they weigh. But anyway, folks, there's 13 people loyalists in here, so I'll tell. Well, let me show the trailer first. I'll show you the trailer, and then we'll talk.
You only miss me when you're lonely.
All right, I've decided now to get started putting this thing together. There's instructions here on how to prepare the feet. All right, it says to do that first, so let me go do that, and I'll continue this when we're ready to assemble. The feet of your companion are very important in that they have to support the weight of the entire body. Use the size chart below to pick the proper foot size. You would think a house like this would have a black cat in it. What's that? Where the f are the feet? So now the moment we've all been waiting for, we're going to fire this up. Let me turn this on. Whoa! Here we go.
Now, actually, that says the fireworks begin the 4th of July. They actually begin for you tomorrow night at 10. So that was the trailer. So what'd you think? I think people have died or they hated it or something. By the way, I'm on Wi-Fi and not direct connect. So if this drops out, just hang around a second and I'll be back. You know, Carsey, besides the eyes, Carsey and the eyes, you're also from Tennessee. You're all about C's, aren't you? Thank you, Kiara. Beautiful name. So here's the other thing I'll inform you of. I've been making the segments like 30 minutes for the first segment, about. For Frankenstein, I made them 30, 30, 30. It came out hour and a half. This one, I made 30, but there's a little surprise about tomorrow night. The part two turned out to be 50 minutes long. So hey, Michael. You guys can thank Michael for the fact that this is up there. For a change, I'm actually a day ahead. Usually I'm scrambling 2 hours before this, and then Michael's got to scramble. But anyway, it turned out to be 50 minutes instead of 30. So you got a lot to watch tomorrow night of Frankenstein and 4th of July and the weekend if you're off Friday. My cousin is a fan of yours also. What's your cousin's name? All right, Michael. I'll sit here nervous now to see what you say in an hour. Hi, Sarah. Thank you. So, like I said, I was actually surprised. I filmed the final segment on Sunday. And when I put it all together, Chris, okay. When I put it all together, I'm like, holy shit. This is long. Not that I think you'll mind, but combined with the first part, we're already at an hour and 10 minutes. No, an hour and 20 minutes. And like you saw in the trailer there, you actually got to take a peek at Frankenstein. Not a close look, but you'll see a very detailed look at him tomorrow night. Am I right? Yes. Mrs. Biggins was the first one besides me to see the entire film.
Yes, I was very honored that he shared it with me.
This time I didn't share too much with you, did I?
No, not really.
The second person that will get a chance to see it is Michael. He's watching it now from POV Horror. So let me show you the trailer once again, folks, because we've had about another 15 people come in. So here we go.
You only miss me when you're lonely.
All right, I've decided now to get started putting this thing together. There's instructions here on how to prepare the feet. All right, it says to do that first, so let me go do that, and I'll continue this when we're ready to assemble. The feet of your companion are very important in that they have to support the weight of the entire body. Use the size chart below to pick the proper foot size. You would think a house like this would have a black cat in it. What's that? Where the f are the feet? So now the moment we've all been waiting for, we're going to fire this up. Let me turn this on. Whoa! Here we go.
So, Jennifer, you have the other Jennifer coming over for the watch party tomorrow night. You're like, I ought to put you on the payroll. So yes, it's it's fun and it's poignant in one regard that I have to talk to somebody first and get their permission to talk about it. But um, yeah, it's got some poignant parts to it, or a one major poignant part. So as you saw, you got to see me assembling the body of Frankenstein there, and he was heavy. And then you got your first look at our Frankenstein. So I figured this is a good way to, launch your holiday, 4th of July with Lil Bad Ben. And also today, in other news, we got to Sable always runs out the yard and runs over the fence where the shed is. The shed is outside of the fence. She always runs over there. We always have these bunnies out back, and I've always seen these little bunnies around the shed. Well, today I had to go out that gate and I heard something run. And I look over at the shed, and there's an obvious um, dig mark. And as I'm standing there, a bunny's head comes out and it's looking at me. So I talked friendly to it, hoping it will be my friend. And it stayed there. I went over, turned the sprinkler on, came back, and it stayed there. Is he all Holly hoped for? Holly,
What?
Adam, thank you, Emma. Emma's a new member of YouTube for what? Holly, what was your opinion of Frankenstein?
Good.
Of the person, I mean.
Good.
We actually took, for the people that donated to the Kickstarter, they get a framed photograph signed by the cast, and I have to print out the pictures. But so that's actually the first time she met our Frankenstein. And let me be honest with you, there's some there's some adult humor in this. You'll see it, you'll know what it is. I can tell you right now, I know the parts where you will laugh out loud. And it involves the need to wear gloves. You renewed your membership. Oh, oops, somebody donated. Thank you. Thank you, Kelly. I got to update my ticker. So again, I'll show the trailer again in about 5 minutes because we keep having people come into the room. So I'll show it again at 8:20. Um, but yeah, it's a good time. And for the kids today, this morning we went and picked up their dog food. There you go. Okay, Emma. Good night to you. It is very early over there. I just shut off my phone.
Why?
Oh yeah. Oops, somebody's setting off fireworks. Let me tell you something about fireworks. You have every right to enjoy fireworks. Thank you, Phil. And but some people around here are um quite nasty about it. They're like, "Oh, stop. It's 4th of July and I have you're an old fart or something like that." They'll say, not to me, but to people that are complaining. And here's one of the hi Russell. Here's one of the things I have to say about it. It scares people's dogs half to death. And they'll say, "Oh, put the dog in a room or something," or you know, because dogs, like on New Year's Eve and 4th of July, is the biggest time for dogs getting out, getting lost. And but not even that. One of the things, these people that go to a fireworks show, okay, that's all right. Go to a fireworks show, but don't when you're setting fireworks off in your own residential neighborhood where you have people all around you, some people are just so nasty about it, like how, oh, I can do what I want. Well, this is what I say to you folks. What about, you might not care about other people's dogs. You might think this is your right and all, but you will sit there on Memorial Day and Veterans Day and wave your flags and talk about how supportive you are of veterans. Well, let me tell you something. There are many veterans out there that you don't know that have PTSD, and that setting off of fireworks and shit like that is horrifying for them. So keep that in mind. If you're one of those people that say, "Oh, I'm going out and setting off," and even if you do it for the 4th of July, don't. There are people that do it all the time. They set off fireworks and all, and they do it most of the time purposely to agitate their neighbors who complain about it. I We don't really have the guy next door does set off fireworks, but I'm sure he's going to be a couple fingers short soon anyway. But just you know, dogs get scared by it, animals get scared by it. Um, Ours are okay with it. With the thunder the other day, the cat didn't like it surprisingly more than the dogs. But when it comes to these fireworks, just keep in mind that there are human beings out there that served in the military selflessly, that because let's face it, since like 1980s, we've been war after war after war for something. There was Desert Storm, then there was 9/11, and from 9/11 until early 2020, our soldiers were in Afghanistan, where well they're everywhere, and they were many people came home missing limbs, saw friends killed, and just for all the reasons they suffer PTSD. Your simple, oh, I have the right to set off fireworks. Yeah, you do, but you could be. But don't let me. And this is not any of you, but I'm just talking about these people on Facebook that talk about how, oh, I can do fireworks. Yeah, yeah. Um, I said, you don't let me see you talk about saying F you to your neighbor because they complain about fireworks. When then on Memorial Day, you'll be posting thanks to all who served. Meanwhile, you're causing them horrific stress by setting off your fireworks if they have PTSD. That's all. Anyway, folks, let me show the trailer again. Let me get set up here. We'll start over. I guess I got to do something. Here it comes.
You only miss me when you're lonely.
All right, I've decided now to get started putting this thing together.
All right, we came back. I've got to start the trailer over because we lost internet connectivity. So here we go.
You only miss me when you're lonely.
All right, I've decided now to get started putting this thing together. There's instructions here on how to prepare the feet. All right, it says to do that first, so let me go do that, and I'll continue this when we're ready to assemble. The feet of your companion are very important in that they have to support the weight of the entire body. Use the size chart below to pick the proper foot size. You would think a house like this would have a black cat in it. What's that? Where the f are the feet? So now the moment we've all been waiting for, we're gonna fire this up. Let me turn this on. Whoa! Here we go.
By the way, sorry, I had to restart it because we had the Wi-Fi cut out for a minute. That shot at the end of the trailer of the thunderstorm was the shot I got. Was it Sunday with all the rain? When we had all that rain on Sunday, I was able to get out there and film in the morning and at night, and I've got some great thunder shots. No thunder bolts that you could see, no lightning bolts,
That's okay. He got some good shots though.
but we got some good shots. And by the way, do you see how tall Frankenstein is? He's a big boy. I did finally actually, Adam, I filmed twice Sunday because I've never, other than a hurricane, I've never seen the rain like we had the other day. I woke up at 4:30 because the dogs were stirring a little, and I heard it lightning. So it was still dark. So I knew I could do it. So I went out to the end of the driveway in the van, set up the camera pointing out the door and film. And it rained and thundered for like 7 hours. I can't tell you the last time I've ever seen it, and poured. And then it was kind of calm all day. And then that night we watched Game of Thrones. That's how I know it was Sunday. We watched House of Dragon, and storms were coming in. So I went back out there at like 10:30, 11. Sorry, folks. It Wi-Fi is suck ass out here. And I just dropped from 50 viewers to 11 because it's just you, Fender. You're the only one that's frozen. So with the Wi-Fi connectivity out here, it connects and it disconnects and reconnects. I can hardwire this computer to the internet, but I don't have it set up out here. So we'll grow the audience again, maybe. What I ought to do is run that. See, I have it set up over there where there's a table that I sometimes edit. Anyway, what the fuck was that? Was that a hiccup?
Yes.
You scared the shit out of me.
Good. Did you pee?
I peed a lot. Now we're back up to 46 viewers like that. That's because Twitter had to be recounted. So anyway, if it does, I will show the trailer again at 8:45 for those that haven't seen it. But also, I'll be posting it tonight to Facebook, to probably not to Instagram, maybe to Twitter. Wherever Bad Ben films are seen. So I want to start. Well, I actually have parts of the final part shot. Um, but I want to start that this weekend. So that's why I'm back again, hat in hand, raising funds. You know what? I could sell a t shirt that Frankenstein wears. Squatch. By the way, Squatch, for all your support, in part two, right now, the sounds you hear, that's a bird. out there. Squatch, you do get more screen time in part two. And the parsec and the 19 parsecs and the Kessel Run get mentioned. The only thing I should have added at there would I should have said you nerd, but I didn't. No offense. But if you're just joining us, Squatch, in another at 8:45, I will show the trailer again. And just so you guys know, this Wi-Fi's been kind of shitty tonight, so it's going in and out. So if the screen freezes, give it 30 seconds to a minute to come back. All right, I'll be showing it again here. I've shown it like 3 or 4 times already. What's wrong? Why are you so serious? Why so serious? Do. By the way, tomorrow, don't forget at 9 p.m. we have the red carpet event, the launch party, and then at 10 p.m. Frankenstein part 2. Hi, Robin. And for those of you that have just joined us, because a lot of people have joined us since I announced this, usually when I release these in 3 parts, they're normally 30 minutes each. Well, part 2, it turns out, is 50 minutes long. So you got a lot of extra bonus time tomorrow night. So 9 p.m. It's already up there on YouTube. You can probably go to YouTube and so click on the bell and it sets a reminder for you. But tomorrow night, so you know, I will be hardwired in. So there will be no interruptions due to shaky Wi-Fi. And isn't McMillan so talented? That's his song. God, that kid. He's got a great voice. That's an original song by him, too.
Sorry. Making too much noise.
I'm hearing, well, you burped earlier. That
It was not a burp, it was a hiccup.
that hiccup was horrifying.
Well, I'm very sorry.
I'm sorry I wasn't recording the audio. I would use that to terrify.
You know what the latest trendy thing to do is?
What?
Make homemade cream cheese.
Oh, fuck that. When you can buy cream cheese in a block, is it even expensive cream cheese?
It's not as cheap as it used to be.
Nothing's as cheap as it used to be. And I'm tired of all the excuses for how this isn't our fault. We didn't cause this. This happens because of this. I'm tired of shit not getting done in Washington. And that's not just these past 3 years. That's been since, I don't know, past 20. I wish I was getting old when life was good instead of getting old while everything's so complicated. I'm out here on the back deck. It's a nice mild night. And looking forward to entertaining y'all tomorrow night. Maybe I'll bring up the small back and do it from here. Now I got to do it downstairs so I have all the monitors. I look like a freaking horror film in this light. Sloppy says, Nigel, your movie saved my life. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that, but did they really save your life? If they did, how about showing me a little love by donating there? I'm just kidding. I'm glad. I'm really glad you enjoyed them, and quite a few people have written me over time. It was nice when they write that they were going through a rough patch and they found that they could escape at least briefly by watching Bad Ben. By the way, for those of you that have just joined us, because we've climbed up again, in 9 minutes, I'm going to show the trailer again. And this was you get. I'll tell you what. In part two, you get a lot of Tom Riley because, as you know, our boy Scott Jackson has been at Stella Adler, so I didn't have him around for this, which is what makes the film better. No, I'm just kidding. I miss him. But tomorrow he completes week 4. He's got about a month to go. I don't know if they have to make up because when they take off, they're off Thursday, Friday this week for the holiday. So I don't know if they have to make up those 2 days or what. This is the same cigar I'm always smoking, which is a Quorum Shade Churchill. And that's something else in the film. You never see me smoke. I don't even think I've ever been high when I've shot any segments. I've been high on here before, taking a gummy, and Squatch always encourages that behavior. So, in another 6 minutes, I will show the trailer again. Are you excited for tomorrow night? And again, the Wi Fi keeps cutting out, so I'm sorry about that. But tomorrow, I'll be hardwired. Nothing wrong with that, Squatch said. Maybe I'll take a gummy before tomorrow night's broadcast.
Take a whole one.
Oh man, I took a whole one 2 weeks ago, and I think I'm finally feeling better. You did see me buy cigars, and it wasn't. Yes, it was Badder Ben when Jackie and Schmitty and David were looking for me. Um, the cigar store I go to now is a different cigar store, and the guy gave me a lighter, which it's really creepy looking. It looks like a little elf. I will bring it on to one of the live broadcasts. I'm not downstairs because it's sitting on my desk, or I'd show you. But it's this little creepy lighter, and I, for the life of me, can't figure out how to open it. By the way, Sable, a lot of times at night, she sees creatures moving through the woods over there and around back. Yesterday we had a deer, didn't we? Hello?
What?
We had a deer yesterday, didn't we?
Yes, it did. I saw it.
And the bunnies playing, they frolic out back. And she gets fired up because she's the great protector. There it is. Look, her asshole and her cooch right there on display. Excuse me for being vulgar, folks. When Sable gets wound up, her tail's straight up in the air, and we see her butthole and her lady garden.
Lady Guard.
Lady garden. Oops, I got donation. Tracy, are you watching? Tracy just made a huge donation. And Tracy, you are in you get mentioned tomorrow in the film, and because you're seeing what the heart is in, it's actually two different places. And Sable, honey, she sees, I apologize, she sees, and you're gonna see a scene where I'm reading the packing list that came with the heart, and I talk about you.
Come on, say
And there's actually a funny part to it too, which I'm not going to tell you. You're going to see it.
Come on.
You're going to see it, and you're going to laugh that I included that. But I say something about how nice you are and everything, and you're actually, I get a little bit choked up in it, for real. Oh, he took her in. Tracy has done more to support me. She ought to hire. She ought to take me on as a dependent. You will, but one of the things. Oh, you're also listed as a co-executive producer. But one of the things I will tell you is that tomorrow is not even the segment yet, which has little T in it. Okay, good. I'm getting there. I appreciate all of you. All right, folks, let's show the trailer again. Let me find it here. it was now folks, just so you know, if we happen to if the Wi-Fi goes out and the screen goes blank for a minute and it's during the trailer because my Wi-Fi's crappy out here sometimes, I will just hang around for about a minute and I'll be back. So here's the trailer.
You only miss me when you're lonely.
All right, I've decided now to get started putting this thing together. There's instructions here on how to prepare the feet. All right, it says to do that first, so let me go do that and I'll continue this when we're ready to assemble. The feet of your companion are very important in that they have to support the weight of the entire body. Use the size chart below to pick the proper foot size. You would think a house like this would have a black cat in it. What's that? Where the f are the feet? So now the moment we've all been waiting for, we're going to fire this up. Let me turn this on. Whoa! Here we go.
So I hope the trailer has you excited for the film. It's oh, and here's the other thing I wanted to tell you for those of you that have joined us, because a lot of people have since the last time I showed the trailer. Typically, when I release how I've been releasing these in 3 parts have been 30 minutes each. In this particular case, the first part was 30 minutes. Tomorrow night was supposed to be 30 minutes, but it turned out it's 50 minutes. So thank you, Tracy. So it's 50 minutes. So you get almost a whole hour of me tomorrow night. So please don't forget to come to the launch party. Now I got the hiccups. To come to the launch party tomorrow at 9. And then as soon as that's done, oh God. As soon as that's done, I'll release the film. The Salem Benite Coven will be gathering for it. You're really getting together as a group to watch? Because I know Jennifer's coming. Is the coven right now you three? You and the 2 J's? Now, Michael, what a tease you are. Michael from POV Horror, by the way, is the reason why I have a Roku channel and a Fire TV channel. He did both of them. So he has to get the film, obviously, to prepare it for broadcast tomorrow night. I love the part where you blank and the blank in the blank. Yeah, that's not too much of a tease. But yes, he has, he just watched it prior to, it's all right. Holly and I are honorary members. Turn on phone. You mean other than your comment about the grainy scene? That's when I shut it off. There's a reason for that I can explain. But I'll explain it to you later. But thank you very much for, during my live broadcast, for shitting on me about that. It's a short scene. But there's a psychological reason too for that. So nothing new beyond that. You all right? Squatch likes it. Squatch, like I said, when you see me assembling Frankenstein, there's the segment where I put his brain in and I talk about you. And well, all of you. Carsey has her part. Um, you, Kelly Mergens, who were the hands, um, and Jen Van Anden, who's the feet. I got to thank somebody here. Thanks, Bill. You that was very nice. Um, there's only like a small grainy bit, but there's a reason for that, which I'll explain over the weekend after people have had a chance to watch it. Normally, I give it a um, a week, and then I'll start talking about it so people have a chance to see it. We've slowly been growing in subscribers. I mean, steady growth in subscribers, which is good. But in a week, I'll explain some things about this. And I guess the biggest news is that instead of 30 minutes, it's 50. Michael one time paid me a compliment where he said that it's just something about my personality, I guess. It's a compliment, but he says this watching the cameras and all. Thank you. Um, hang on, we got another donation here. I want to thank the person. It hasn't popped up yet, but thank you, Jim. Oh, Jim. By the way, you owe me an email. I think it's you. I emailed you.
You want more soda? I'm going.
Yes, please. You can leave the door open for her too. She'll be all right now. But
Can you bring in the goods?
yes.
Thank you.
Any other demands?
That's it.
You're being pretty bossy
And
tonight.
we need milk.
Well, put it tomorrow morning. We'll get it. Um, he said there's something just about watching, like the bird's eye or the fly on the wall of me going through these films. And tomorrow, there's a lot goes into the assembly of Frankenstein, and some of which I know where you're going to laugh out loud, folks. And there's one technical thing I got to work through. In the trailer, you see where I'm out there petting Sophie in the family room and the lid falls off the pot. For some reason, I'm getting an echo in that scene. And I don't have it on the master. I just, when I prepare it, it's there. I know how to get rid of it, but I'm back. I'm sorry about that, folks. It's tomorrow night. Rest assured, for the launch party, I'm not going to be on Wi-Fi. I'm going to be hardwired in. Well, Squatch, let's put it this way. Between the, well, not counting the credits, of course, but let's say that tomorrow's 45 minutes, because there's a brief, the scene where I walk out and I find the box and I open it up and the light hits me in the face? That's about a minute long. That's at the beginning of this film. So it's about, okay, Jim, I got your message. And Jim, if you happen to be watching, that's in part 3. So that was about 45 minutes. And then the first part was about 25 minutes. So that's 50 and 20 makes it, it's going to probably be, well, it's going to be at least an hour and a half, but it might wind up being about an hour 45 when all is said and done. I've got a lot of 3 shot already. And I appreciate your patience. And by the way, thank you so much for the donations. Squatch, I agree with you. That's all I'll say. But that's a 2-parter. That's funny. Holly, in fact, said, "My God, that's obscene." Thank you, Tom. That's a huge compliment because, when I did the first Bad Ben and all the actors I have in the film had lined up for the film all dropped out before I started filming. And then I said, screw it, I'll just film with myself in it. I had to think, who's going to want to see this bald? Although right now in this light, I look like I have a full head of hair. But I said, who's going to want to see this bald, fat, 50-year-old guy walking around his house half the time in his underwear? And about 200 million minutes streamed worth of people have. So they referred to me as an everyman. I actually, well, I was flattered to be asked to be in a film, but it was in England. So I didn't take them up on it. It was flattering, but I actually recorded voice for, oh shit, I can't remember his podcast. It's called the Cellar Letters, and thank you, Norak. The Cellar Letters, and he asked me to record some lines for that, which I did, and I'm trying. I can't remember right now what the other thing was that was flattering. Oh, the article by Zach Kreger, who made Barbarian. He got you guys have all heard this story probably by now, but he wrote of his top 10 influences of that film, and he said Bad Ben. And he says, Nigel, if you're seeing this, you're a king. That was a huge compliment. But nobody was more surprised than how, you know what? I don't want to talk about 15 yet because 14 is just launching. But the 15th film You will know by the end of the 14th film of this film, by the end of part 3, you will know what part 15 is about. This will be one of the longer episodes, Squatch, because there's a lot like the assembly. Let me tell you, the assembly of Frankenstein takes some time because you can't. I mean, you could rush it, but I really didn't want to. Let me tell you something. When I first, there's a 20-minute segment that involves the um, assembly, but it moves pretty quick. Uh, when I finished that, it was 40 minutes, which I guess there will be an outtakes of this. Not an outtakes, but like a bonus. Bonus! Hey, Google, turn on fence. I don't know why those lights didn't come on. Well, it's 9 o'clock. How about we watch the trailer again, if you don't mind? Here we go.
You only miss me when you're lonely.
All right, I've decided now to get started putting this thing together. There's instructions here on how to prepare the feet. All right, it says to do that first, so let me go do that, and I'll continue this when we're ready to assemble. The feet of your companion are very important in that they have to support the weight of the entire body. Use the size chart below to pick the proper foot size. You would think a house like this would have a black cat in it. What's that? Where the f are the feet? So now the moment we've all been waiting for, we're going to fire this up. We turn this on. Whoa! Here we go.
By the way, that thunder and lightning scene was shot Sunday morning. I have like 30 minutes of thunder and lightning right now. Adam said, "What can I tell you about the making of the video game?" Well, that video game, I was approached for that by Dread Central. They made the video game, and they had me record lines for it. So I mean, I know some of the big time game players out, gamers, Markiplier and Game Grumps have played it, and people have written me saying how they found the game and found it hysterical, and it was pretty funny recording the lines. I wish I recorded myself with video, recording the audio for that, because there's some great outtakes on that. Because when they had a list of curse words for me to take, like, shit, fuck, god damn it, and stuff like that, so that you can hit, I think it's Z, and it'll keep saying the curse words. Well, that was a little bit that was hysterical. It was tough to keep a straight face during that. So I don't know how popular it's been with them. Um, I don't know how they would make any money off of it, but they do. I'll tell you what I should do, and I've said this. I haven't done this yet, but I really ought to. You know how I do like the t-shirts I wear in these? It helps finance the film. People pay a fee to be on them. I ought to have Frankenstein in one of those t-shirts. It is nice out right now. It's cool. It's Sable's laying over in her bed. She loves to look out in the yard. And guys, I gotta tell you, this is the most in advance I've had a film done. It's only 24 hours, but the most I've had one of these done in advance in a long time. Michael has already uploaded it. So, just a reminder that tomorrow, 9 p.m., if you go to my YouTube page, um, like you're on here now, so you can see the link. I mean, you can see the page. So when this is over, you can go there. You'll already see that the live broadcast for tomorrow night at 9 is scheduled. So you can click. There's a bell on it in the picture. You can click for a reminder. So you'll know that when I'm online tomorrow night. But 9 o'clock is the launch party. We'll bullshit for about an hour, and then at 10 o'clock, the film will be available. And unlike for part one, I am not in part in part one when I did the launch party, I actually showed it at the end. I'm not doing that tomorrow night. Badben.com. And for somebody that's not a subscriber to, or Badben TV, I'm sorry. For somebody that's not a subscriber to badbentv.com, it's $6 for a month, or it's $60 for a year. It gives you 2 free months. To subscribe, we have a Roku channel and a Fire TV channel. They're identical. And if you sign up, you can watch on either or. But folks, please sign up at badbentv.com, because when you sign up through your remote or your TV, Roku and Fire take a big cut of that. But when you sign up on badbentv.com, I get all but the credit card fees on that. And you'll be able to watch either on your computer at badbentv.com. I've watched on my phone, but you can also log into Roku, or you can log into Fire TV. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the trailer. I hope you're excited for tomorrow night. I hope you join me tomorrow night at 9. And I'm going to get a much needed night of rest, because I get all excited and I can't wait for you to see this tomorrow night. 9 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. If you go set yourself a reminder on YouTube, well, you're on YouTube. If you'll see, you should be able to see the video is already scheduled for tomorrow night, the live. If you set the reminder, it will adjust to your time zone. So tomorrow night, please join me. It's my honor to do these things for you. I'm humbled by your support, and I look forward to tomorrow night. So let me hop off here now, folks. Thanks for your support, and thanks for everything. So tonight, I'm signing off for now. See you. Love you. Bye for now.